Edmonton, over the last 2 to 3 years, has exploded. But are you making the right choice when you are picking a home to live in Edmonton? My name is Karen Stanko and I'm with Remax Real Estate, and I've been selling in and around the Edmonton area for 18 years. And you're going to want to check out this video while I examine some of the things that you want to look at before you purchase your home. So why is Edmonton sprawling? What is driving this sprawl? Is it demand? Or is it something that the city planners decided to do? Or is this just a way for developers to line their pockets? Well, let's examine a few things. So to the north, to the south, to the west, to the east, everywhere you go around the Anthony Henday, and even on the outskirts, we have new suburban sprawl happening. There's new builds, there's different types of communities that are evolving on a day-to-day basis. Now, what is driving that sprawl? A lot of it has to do with demand, typically in new product. All of that new sprawl is new, shiny homes that people like. And there is different types of demographics that they appeal to the way they organize the communities. So typically there are apartment condos, there are townhouses where you have to pay condominium fees. They are small single-family homes with detached garages, duplexes, and then they are larger single-family homes, typically around a lake that they develop that have a double attached garage or a triple attached garage. All of them have different price points, and they're all based on a type of demand that people would like. Now, over the last couple of years, there has been a lot of these new communities going up, and there's been a lot of demand for them. However, with changing markets of the 2026, there has been less demand in that new product, and developers are sitting there holding the bag with a lot of product that they can't get rid of. So they are starting to slash their price, and that is a change in the market. When you are looking for a new home in these suburban areas, if you decide that, you want to look at about 4 different things that you want to examine. Number one of it is the commute. How far is the commute to your work, and whether that is something that is driving you to this new product. And also affordability. What is your affordability index? And that will obviously appeal to a different demographic of person. So a lot of times single people will get a little bit more drawn to condominiums, to half duplexes, or to townhomes, you know, underneath that 400,000 or less, or half duplex ranges. Then after that, as the family grows, they start looking at bigger style homes. Now, what you really want to do is make sure that affordability wise, that you are matching your needs with what you can afford. A lot of times you might go into the show suite and then suddenly something might appeal to you, those shiny quartz countertops, or something that you feel that you really need, but affordability wise, it may not be great for you. So always watch that. Now, the other thing that you want to do is match the community with your lifestyle. Is there walking trails nearby, or different sorts of things that might appeal to you that you might want in a community? So if they don't have those, is this something that you're going to lack and want to move sooner than later? So that is something that ends up happening. The other thing that happens sometimes with these newer urban sprawls is that you get in there and you might be single, you might meet someone, you guys decide to build a life together, and you end up establishing your whole life in this community. You maybe thought, oh, I'm just going to stay here for a little bit, but in the end, you might stay there for 20 to 25 years. So all of these factors you need to consider before purchasing your home in a suburban setting. There are many hidden trade-offs that most buyers miss, and let's go through some of those. So number one is the lifestyle. A lot of people get attracted to the suburban sprawl, but they trade off the lifestyle that they want. So that means that their commute becomes a little bit higher or a lot longer, and they lose 2 or 3 hours commuting rather than being able to stay in a closer urban setting where the homes might be smaller, not as big, but you may gain a lot more time to enjoy the things that you like. This is something that buyers miss all the time when they decide to buy a new home. So smaller versus larger. This is something that always happens. A suburban home, typically you'll get more bang for the buck because you're getting a new property that the builder has built out a little bit bigger versus an urban property. In Edmonton, we have a lot of 1950s bungalows. That style is very common that people buy into, but they're only about 1,000 to maybe 1,400 square feet of above grade livable space, and that becomes cramped pretty quickly. So, and you do pay almost the same amount of that versus a home in the suburbs. So that's something that buyers tend to trade off. Now, land. That's one huge trade-off that buyers forget when they go into the suburbs. So the developers continue to squish tighter and tighter homes or with zero lot line on the suburban style home versus property like mine where I have 646 square meter lot. I have a lot of land that I can hang out in, I can garden in, different things like that. In a suburban setting, your square footage of your lot would be about 350 to 450 square feet. And that is the fact. So if you want to throw a trampoline on for a family, different things like that, if you like to garden, those sort of things get pushed off pretty quickly in a suburban setting. And same with like an acreage style home where you've got 1 or 2 acres to enjoy with family and friends. That is definitely not available in any suburban setting. And as a result, a lot of acreage and farmland keeps getting annexed to make suburbs grow as they are. The schools might be lacking in a suburban setting versus urban setting, so you may lose that as well. And also mature trees like we're seeing around us and mature trails are not available or as accessible in a suburban setting. So, if you like to do walking or if you enjoy being in the nature or picnics or, hanging out outside, that kind of gets washed aside. It's not as big of a community feel in a suburban setting as it is in an urban setting. There isn't as many parks, aren't as well established. Even playgrounds are new and sometimes don't even have any mature trees on them. So this is some trade-offs that you might lose when you are a buyer in a suburban setting versus an urban setting. So you got to watch these and be aware of them. So before you step into that show suite in that new shiny home, you want to go through and define your priorities. So is it commuting? Is it lifestyle? Is it budget? Those are your top 3 things that you want to look at. You also want to put a wish list of what you want in a home. And you want to take the time to go visit those communities in the day, in the night, on the weekends to really see what community is all about. What kind of lifestyle does it have? Are people walking outside in the evenings? Are they enjoying themselves? Are the parks desolate? Is this something that is important to you when you are looking at the lifestyle that you want? So these are the things that you need to prioritize before you do walk into the show suite and decide what you want to do. Now, comment below and tell me which communities you like and why you like them in the Edmonton and surrounding area and what drew you to those areas. I'd be curious to find out whether this is something that you feel that you've outgrown or that you feel that you want to be living in for the next 10 to 20 years or see yourself retiring in. That would be very interesting to me. Thank you for joining me. My name is Karen Stanko and I'm with Remax Real Estate, and please subscribe to my channel. I've been selling in the Edmonton and surrounding area for 18 years and I'd love to be your realtor of choice. Thanks for joining me and we'll see you on the next one.